So it's been a while since we've had a good rant on the show. The energy, the anger has been pent up in Dave for a while. Dave is our go-to guy for rants.
I think that's a little unfair.
That's accurate, though.
The truth usually is.
We've been talking about this lately, some things that we find at the supermarket that really kind of confuse and anger, well, all of us, but especially Dave. It's food items, different kinds of food categories. Now, we realize everybody has their own opinion. This is a matter of taste, obviously. But the thing is, we have microphones and a podcast, so we can talk about it here. Dave,
a matter of
take
taste,
it away.
Indeed. But I've never met a person from the UK or Ireland that does not agree with what I'm about to say. In full, entire... topic is a controversial one and always has been down the Irish pub. Why are Polish sweets, chocolates, biscuits and salted snacks so goddamn awful?
Okay, let's dive into that. Let's see.
Let me start with the most popular candy bars, as you Americans like to call them, like Prince Polo.
That's what they are.
And this whole subspecies of wafered chocolate bar, which to me all taste the fucking same. You know, they all have different brands. They just take up row after row of sweet shop. Do you like a Prince Polo, John?
If nothing else is available. Yeah.
No, I just remember living in Chicago as a kid at the consulate there. They used to love handing out Prince Polos everywhere. It was like the main thing that the Polonia there wanted to get their hands on from Poland was Prince Polo.
The Danusha, terrible, dreadful, awful, dark chocolate, disgusting. Vedel chocolate is an offence to the plain chocolate bar. I mean, their standard milk chocolate is dreadful, and it makes me angry because a lot of people use that in their baked goods that they then bring into the office and want everyone to buy for charity and don't realise have this horrible, nasty kick because they've used this disgusting bacon chocolate.
Can I play devil's advocate here for a second?
Go ahead.
I have to point out, Ireland not known for its chocolates.
Excuse me?
Ireland not known for its chocolates.
Sorry, I don't know Ireland for its chocolates either.
Well, I don't think I've ever tried any Irish chocolate.
Well, look, when it comes to chocolate and sweet and biscuit culture, there's a lot of crossbreeding between the UK and Ireland. You know, a lot of the most popular brands are the same in both countries, but Cadbury's chocolate is the go-to chocolate in Ireland. Delicious.
When somebody says Cadbury, they don't think Ireland.
No, it's not Irish, but we had our own production facilities in the country. It's like the way Lay's isn't Polish, but it's the most popular crisp brand. Ergo, they have to take responsibility for that. So in Ireland, we like our chocolate tasty, so we eat a lot of Cadbury's.
I'm a Milka guy myself.
Well, Milk is okay, right? That's Mondelez, Kraft, same company, and I believe they've stolen a lot of tricks from Cadbury's, but it still doesn't have that magic caramel.
So there's no Polish-made chocolate candy bar, cookies, biscuits, whatever.
What do I like?
That really impresses you?
Okay, I like a Chebita. You know, they're not bad. The 3-bit, the 3-bit bar.
Oh, the 3-bit. Oh, yeah. Is that Polish, though?
That's Polish, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, those are good.
Pretty sure. Probably has a different parent company. They all do. Candy companies are... very global.
All owned by Mars.
In nature. And Mars is a good example. So the standard Mars bars, I'm a big Snickers fan, so that's easily available in every store. But, of course, that's not Polish. I mean, what Polish candy bars do you like, John?
Oh, yeah, the 3-bit, if it is Polish, yeah, that's okay in a pinch. Prince Polo, I'm baffled by the success of Prince Polo, to be honest. Dr. Mike, is this a question of maybe Prince Polo kind of establishing itself in the culture in an age when there was no competition?
Yeah, basically it was one of those brands that they exported outside of Poland, so it was available here and there. And usually, of course, what they exported outside of Poland in the communist era actually had chocolate in it, and real sugar and flavoring. So the export product always tasted fantastic. Well, if you actually came to Poland and bought what they had in the stores here, it was like, chalk just colored black or something like that. You weren't exactly sure what you were eating.
But there was something called chocolate podobne.
Czekoladowe podobne produkty. So like everything that was chocolate in the stores bought here wasn't actually chocolate. It was just like sugar and like flavoring because they didn't really have access to cocoa.
It's a luxury consumer good. Communism wasn't great for luxury consumer goods. I think we can agree. The chocolate making process is, Willy Wonka had a movie named after him for a reason because he was real.
Actually, can I of Wedel in the early 20th century, he was considered like the Polish Willy Wonka for a while. It was actually written down that way. And that company that you're bitching about now was actually bought by Cadbury in the 80s after being bought by Pepsi. But then Cadbury had to sell it when they merged with Kraft, and now I think some Korean company is the main.
I just don't get it. Like every Wedel flavor, I hate. I just cannot get along with their chocolate recipe.
There's a lot of flavors to hate too, I guess, because there's 1,000 different Wedel flavors when I go to the supermarket.
I don't get what the appeal of it at all.
Well, one of the biggest products for Wedel right now is like Ptasie Mleczko.
Another thing I don't understand.
Milkies. Yeah.
Which
baffled by those things, the success of those things.
I
What's the big
like
deal?
them. I don't think they're fantastic, but I like them. But then Milka introduced their own. And actually, they went to court for it. Like, is this like, a trademark product, whatever? And Milka won. And I have to admit, the Milka ones, their chocolate and everything tastes better.
It is good chocolate. I mean, it's not as good as Cadbury's, but if it wasn't for Milka, there would be no good options for large bars of chocolate, for, luxury kind of cookies, etc. They saved the Polish market considerably. And cookies are my next issue here. Why am I using words like candy and cookies sitting around you American biscuits?
Good man.
Excuse me.
Much better.
Before you do that, can I jump in? Before we segue to cookies, last thing you mentioned Vettel. You're not a fan of the taste. I'm not either. But something else about Vettel that bothers me is their packaging and marketing. It makes them look like a second tier brand. It doesn't look polished and professional and the best available. It's like the marketing agency is the brother-in-law of the owner of the company or something like that. It's just, it looks amateurish.
They've gone for a matte finish now on the outside. It does look nicer. So there's obviously
the photography and just the whole aesthetic is just kind of.
And the funny thing is, they were a major brand. Like before the war, they were exporting internationally. They were no brand.
No competition.
But no, before the war, like when there were other competitions in Europe, they were a known trademark. They were a known brand. They've been around since 1850 something. So for 170 years.
That's not always a good thing to promote in your food business, I guess. We've been around for 150 years.
We never change anything.
Making the same shit over and over.
Tastes that old.
Yeah.
Can I just say as well, I love Polish baked goods. I mean, bakeries in Poland are amazing. That's where I go for a sweet treat, and cheap as well. Like, you can get the nice individual slices of good cakes, and you can't get that back home. You have to buy the whole bloody cake. You've only got 4 or 5 options, like the cream slice or the coffee slice, etc. So I'm not saying you can't get great cakes, but these are supermarket products, and I want to bring it on to the biscuits.
Okay, to the cookies.
Everywhere you go. All right, just get with my favorite one out of the way. Classic Jajiki. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but the little chocolate covered caramelly things with little bits of plum in them. They're delicious. Love them. But Delicia biscuits are disgusting. Everywhere you go in Poland, there's just packets of them thrown on the
Those are fighting words, Dave, for a lot of people.
Dodgy Jaffa cakes with all different fillings. Horrible. No crunch, no texture. You can't dip one of them in a cup of tea if you were able to get a cup of milky tea in the first place. No.
Anecdotally, though, kind of like since the increased number of Poles in Britain and the proliferation of Polish shops, kind of British people have gone mad for cherry Jaffa cakes, for plum Jaffa cakes, for banana and coconut Jaffa cakes.
Because they've gotten bored of all the wonderful biscuits they've always had access to. Anything can seem exotic when you have that much of a great baseline to choose from. But can you tell me your favourite top 5 Polish biscuits?
Well, I don't eat biscuits.
I wouldn't know.
Top one.
No, but with the Delicia, it's like I think they're perfectly fine. I'm not a big fan, but I don't care that either. For me, the problem is that they taste like they're stale within 30 seconds of opening.
It should be a little bite of heaven when you eat a biscuit, okay? It should be, the greatest party of day when you have that cup of tea.
God, your life is sad.
I love biscuits.
So chocolate is crap. Cookies are crap. Is there a trifecta going on here, David? Is there a third part to this crap crown?
Oh, don't get me. Now we're really getting into rant territory. You give the soap master 3000 out here and mount the wagons.
You were talking salty snacks.
Okay, so palushki, those horrible pretzel-y things.
What's wrong with palushki?
Everything is all brown and shiny. It looks like a piece of mahogany with a bit of salt on the front of it. They're addictive, like all salty products. Like I've been known to chew them in a bar, but such a waste. Such a waste. A placeholder taste-wise. There's absolutely nothing to any of them. They must be mass-produced.
That's what we want sometimes. That's what you want.
Communist factory that was kept going. Factory B.
Something to munch on.
That's perfect. I mean,
Yeah, but you could be having, beautiful, kettle chips or Monster Munch or something, exceptional, like King Luxury Crisps down the
but
pub.
palushki are basically just pretzels, but in a stick form instead of that little kind of pretzel shaped thing.
My point is, yet again, you're accepting this average taste when it should be a serious treat. All right, so you walk into a big box supermarket in Poland, you turn the corner, and I would say even more so than supermarkets back home, the crisp aisle is enormous. There's crisps from the bottom to the top, and you walk along and you just realise it's just absolute monotony flavour-wise.
Yeah, it's like
Paprika,
4 flavors. Yeah.
plain salt, onion, and
Maybe
fromage, cheese,
sour
the
cream.
blue cheesy ones.
What's with the paprika thing? I don't get that.
55 different brands selling paprika crisps. I didn't even taste the paprika.
I think you nailed it,
I
Dave.
thought it was surprising here when I moved from the States here to Europe in general. I was surprised at all flavors of chips. Like now I see like kebab, pizza,
Oh, God, don't get me
chicken.
started.
I'm like, what the hell? I'll be honest. When I moved to the States, one of the things I missed most from Australia was salt and vinegar, which I just adore, which I think is the best flavor ever. But now but I also love cheese flavored stuff. And when I'm here in the store, Cheetos, I run to it. There are no cheese flavored Cheetos. It's always like,
Ketchup,
the fromage,
paprika.
ketchup, pizza. It's like if there's
Pizza flavor.
They're importing this stuff en masse, and they're importing the wrong shit. It just drives me nuts. Change it up a little bit. It can't be that expensive to import salt and vinegar crisps. If you give the Polish people a chance, I'm sure they develop a taste for them.
I think you're right, Dave. I'm visualizing the chip aisle at the Auchan at Imjedin where I go shopping.
nice and quiet there, so you can concentrate.
It's probably 10 meters long. And yeah, there are 4 flavors contained in those 10 meters.
Drives me nuts. And then the amateur Pringle knockoffs, that all just have the salt and then sea salt and then Himalayan salt. It's have you any salt flavor? But in Ireland, when you go into the similar aisle, it's full of multi-packs, it's full of colour, there's the cheap crisps, the luxury crisps. You can get every type of crisp art known to man in those aisles, and people love having a nosy around. Maybe I'll get one of the old cheap ones that reminds me of my childhood, burger flavour, meanies, pickled onion flavour, or burger bites, classics of the cheap crisp genre. Same thing in the UK. You can get all that good stuff as well. And then if you want, you have the luxury crisps brands that are only sold in the pubs. Oh, delicious, John. Delicious.
Can I share a theory with you, Dave? I'm going to get in deep water here. Here's my theory. Over the last 5-7 years in Poland, you go to the big block supermarkets that you mentioned, and you see the nachos, and you see the brownies, and you see maybe the cupcakes, maybe not in the supermarket, but in other places, and you see the peanut butters, and you see the little different things that come from mostly, people would call it American snack food, and whether or not it's good for you or if you like it, that's a separate argument. But the fact that it's on the shelf tells you that there's a demand for it, there's a market opening for it, and that kind of what that says to me is that the existing options in the Polish menu, so to speak, we're wanting. There's so little choice that there's an opportunity. Oh, and donuts, this kind of stuff. The traffic, again, the nachos, donuts.
Not sure where you're going with this. I'm not finished with crisps at all here. I've loads left
nachos,
to say.
Donuts, brownies, muffins, all these little things, they come to Poland. Now, what does Poland export? What are the things that Poles have come up with that other countries say, oh, that's really good. We want to try that. It just doesn't go that way. And I know there are commercial reasons for it. When you have the corporate giants of the world, they can make things work in other markets. But it's just, where's the Polish creation that finds an audience outside of Poland? I don't see it.
I mean, of course, there's good luxury chocolate brands like Carmelo, etc. But I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, on the large scale, I don't see anything like
Suddenly, this sounds like a really harsh attack on Poland. But
no, I'm sorry, but the snack culture here has always bothered me, because people always say things like Mike did, well, they're okay, or a Palushki is
not
salty.
Really good though.
Well,
but yeah.
The point should be, what else could we be having? If we're going to be wasting 250 calories on a little bag of salty munchies, let's enjoy them. Let's import some once a month. Spicy tape a month a month.
Think about the checkout counter when you go to Żabka or Tesco, whatever, and you're there, you're about to pay, and that's where you see the Twix, and that's where you see the Snickers and the Mars and all that stuff.
You don't see dairy milk.
Go back in time. I know it was a different world.
You don't see Wispas.
Kind of apples and oranges. But take away those imports, and what's left?
You don't see Cadbury's cream eggs.
No, you don't. But what's left? Where's the Polish contribution to those?
That's what I was saying about Milka chocolate. That's what I go for all the time. If I want a large American-style cookie, I buy Milka. I buy Kraft, Mondelez. At least it tastes close to what I'm used to back home. But I would never buy a pack of Delicia biscuits. The only Polish biscuit I will buy is Jajiki. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Jajiki.
They're delicious. If they can do it, why can't everybody? And by the way, all other flavours of Jajiki are terrible. They're not even gone to themselves. We were onto a winner with that one. Everyone loves that one. Let's do something like that. No, we'll just mess the rest of them.
Let's make paprika flavored.
Red dust flavour.
Another devil's advocate thing. All
I'm
this,
not finished.
We're beating up the Polish snack industry. Couldn't Poles say, what? Isn't it a good thing that we haven't filled our supermarkets with this junk food shit?
But they already have oils that are bigger than the oils we have for this back home. It's just there's no variety. It looks like variety on the surface because it's different brands, but all these brands are selling the same base flavors. That's what pisses me off. There's no real variety in what you're buying. But can I get to my big bugbear about Polish salted snack culture? The size of the portions. I want a little bag of crisps, to go with my sandwich. Can I get that in Żabka?
Nope.
No. If I walk in, what will I see? I will see bags that are a foot long. And what the Poles do is they buy them, eat some of them, put a peg on top. No. You buy a large multi-pack of 12 small bags of crisps. So when you have that single portion, it's perfectly fresh.
Preach the word, Dave.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts. The only place you can get small bags of chips where they're individually sold is in the largest supermarkets. Now, how does that make any sense? You know, it's something that you want to pick up and go and eat straight away. You know, you don't want to walk in a queue in Carrefour for an hour and a half.
Should we cut you off before your heart can't take this anymore? Should we kind of tone things down now, maybe?
I'm nearly done.
But speaking of those huge portions, like if you've seen in Zapka's, those, I don't know what it's potato or corn, those like puffs that are like look like little thumbs.
Oh my God.
They're usually completely flavorless.
It looks like it's the size of a large bag of potatoes, like a 20-kilo bag.
It's like 3 feet long and it's like dirt cheap. And when you eat those
it
things,
weighs 6 ounces.
you bite into
Krupke, is that it?
Yeah, Krupke.
Oh my God, they absolutely taste of nothing.
They have like a salty aftertaste the first moment you bite into them, but then they just turn to this gunk that sticks between your teeth.
Yes.
They kind of dissolve and turn into glue.
Yeah, they are something you train a toddler to eat just to get him used to his own mouth.
Yes, that's literally true, yes.
And they taste like it.
So if you're over the age of about 9 months, what's your excuse for eating Krupke? Nobody knows. It's just gross.
My go-to...
Unless you're paprika flavor. I'm going to keep making the same joke over and over.
Since you asked me
about paprika.
Since I know you're so interested in what chips I do eat.
Extremely interested.
My go-to flavor is the green Lay's, the onion flavor, and the spring onion one, which I find quite decent. Right. And if I'm having a crisp sandwich, a crisp and cheese sandwich, that rare delicacy.
But is that the blue bag or the green bag?
That's the green bag.
That's the green bag.
The blue bag is fromage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay, I got you.
That's French for cheese, yeah.
All right, so let's bottom line things here. Polish chocolate, no thanks. Polish cookies, no thanks. Polish chip culture,
Polish cakes,
WTF.
We love the bakery culture in Poland. Excellent bakeries, So the really hard stuff, they actually do brilliantly, But I just have a problem with this whole culture of, oh, it's Polish, so we'll buy it, even though it's extremely average. You wouldn't say that about your car. No, you get your car from Germany because they know what they're doing. Buy your chocolate from the UK or Ireland and don't fucking think about eating this crap.
I think we're all hungry now, so that's enough.
By the way, can I just say something very interesting?
Yeah, I guess you can. What?
Kraft, who took over Cadbury's, promised they'd never move production out of Bourneville,
and they did it immediately.
They did, and it's in Poland now. Yeah. And there's these little shoots, these grass shoots of hope popping up in shops around the country. Like these Cadbury's bars just appear and then disappear. And it's like, did they get the order wrong at the central factory they were ordering milk at and they accidentally sent Cadbury's? Recently in Jabki, you've been able to get these delicious little dairy milk cream bars, like they're like like the Kinder Penguin bars, like that with nice foamy stuff inside, but it tastes that real Cadbury's chocolate on the outside. So
Kinder, there's a name we haven't mentioned yet.
I love Kinder chocolate. That saves the day as well. Good old Italians, they know what they're doing too.
It's German, isn't it?
It's Italian.
Ferrero is Italian.
It's Italian.
But the Ferrero is the parent company that bought it, but originally Kinder was German.
Oh, so we're all happy then.
It's a corpo thing,
so.
but I think Ferrero is straight up an Italian company.
No, Ferrero is Italian,
Kinder,
but
I'm sure Kinder is Italian. But anyway, we'll sort this out next week after Googling it.
Yeah.